My name is Marian. I was once a cheerful person who believed life would always be kind to me. I woke up every morning with hope in my heart. I smiled easily. I laughed often. I trusted people, and I trusted life. But one day everything changed. It was a quiet morning. The sky was gray, and the air felt heavy. I did not know that this day would become the beginning of my pain. I was walking to work, thinking about my plans, my dreams, and the simple things I wanted in life. I wanted peace. I wanted happiness. I wanted a stable future. Then I received a phone call. At first, I ignored it. I thought it was just another normal call. But the phone kept ringing. My heart started to feel uneasy. Slowly, I answered it. The voice on the other side was soft but serious. "Marian, something bad has happened." My hands began to shake. My mind went blank. I could not understand the words clearly. All I could feel was fear growing inside my chest. That moment was the moment my life changed. After the call ended, I stood still on the road. People walked past me. Cars moved. The world continued as normal. But inside me, everything stopped. Pain entered my life quietly that day. At first, I told myself to be strong. I said, "It will be okay." I smiled even when my heart was breaking. I did not want anyone to see my tears. I did not want anyone to know how weak I felt. Days passed, but the pain did not leave. Instead, it stayed with me. It followed me in the morning. It stayed with me at night. It sat beside me in silence. I could not sleep well. My mind was full of thoughts. I kept asking myself, why did this happen to me? But there was no answer. Sometimes I looked at the mirror and did not recognize myself. My eyes looked tired. My smile looked forced. My heart felt heavy. Before this, I thought strength meant never crying. Before this, I thought strong people never felt pain. But I was wrong. One night I finally broke down. I cried quietly in my room. The tears would not stop. I tried to be brave for so long, but the pain inside me was too big. And in that moment, I realized something important. Pain is not loud. Pain is silent. Pain is deep. Pain is heavy. No one around me could see my struggle. They saw my smile. They heard my polite voice. But they did not see the storm inside my heart. I began to feel alone. Very alone. I stopped talking about my feelings. I told people I am fine, even when I was not. It became easier to hide my pain than to explain it. But hiding pain does not make it disappear. It only makes it grow. Every day felt like a long journey. Even small tasks felt difficult. My energy was low. My hope was weak. My heart felt tired. Still, I kept moving. Slowly, silently, carefully. I did not know it yet, but this pain was teaching me something. Something deep. Something powerful. Something life-changing. At that time, I thought pain was my enemy. But I did not know that one day I would look back and say, pain was the beginning of my strength. After that painful day, my life did not return to normal. I waited for the pain to go away, but it did not. Instead, it became a part of my daily life. At first, I tried to escape it. I kept myself busy. I worked longer hours. I scrolled on my phone for many hours at night. I watched videos just to avoid thinking. I filled my schedule so I would not have to sit alone with my thoughts. But no matter how busy I was, the pain waited for me. It waited in the quiet moments. It waited when I lay in bed at night. It waited when I was alone. One evening, I sat by the window and looked at the sky. The sun was setting. The colors were soft and beautiful, but I felt nothing inside. That scared me. I realized I was not only sad, I was becoming numb. And that was the moment I understood something important. I could not run from my pain forever. If I kept hiding, I would lose myself. So I made a small but brave decision. I decided to face the truth. I sat down with my journal. My hands were shaking, but I began to write. I wrote about what happened. I wrote about my fears. I wrote about my anger. I wrote about the questions that had no answers. At first, the words came slowly. Then suddenly they flowed like a river. Tears fell onto the pages. But this time, I did not stop them. I let myself cry. I let myself feel. For the first time, I stopped pretending. I admitted to myself, I am hurting. And that simple sentence changed something inside me. Before this, I thought being strong meant ignoring pain. I thought strong people should not complain. I thought strength meant silence, but I began to see a new truth. Real strength is honesty. Real strength is saying this is hard. The next step was even more difficult. I decided to talk to someone I trusted. I chose a close friend. My heart was beating fast when I told her, "Can I share something with you?" She listened quietly. I expected her to judge me. I expected her to tell me to just be positive, but she did not. She simply said, "It's okay to feel this way." Those words were soft, but they felt powerful. For the first time, I did not feel alone. I learned that pain grows in silence, but it becomes lighter when shared. Of course, not everyone understood. Some people said, "Be strong." Others said, "Time will heal." They meant well, but their words felt simple compared to the storm inside me. Still, I was learning. I was learning that healing is not fast. I was learning that facing pain is scary, but I was also learning something beautiful. Every time I chose to face my feelings instead of running away, I felt a little stronger. Not strong in a loud way, not strong like a hero in a movie, but strong in a quiet way, like a tree standing in the wind. The wind may shake it, the rain may hit it, but it does not fall. I began to understand that pain was not trying to destroy me. It was trying to teach me. It was teaching me patience. It was teaching me honesty. It was teaching me courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is feeling fear and still choosing to move forward. Every day I took small steps. Some days were good. Some days were very hard. Some days I felt like I was going backwards. But I kept going, because now I knew something important. If I wanted to become strong, I had to stop running. I had to face the truth, and that was the beginning of real change. There were days when I felt very tired of being strong. Not physically tired, but emotionally tired. My heart felt heavy almost every day. Even simple things felt difficult. Waking up in the morning became a challenge. Smiling became an effort. Talking to people felt exhausting. Some days I asked myself, how long do I have to feel this pain? There was no clear answer. One morning, I woke up and stared at the ceiling for a long time. I did not want to get out of bed. My mind was full of worries and sad memories. I felt stuck between the past and the present. I missed the old version of myself, the happy Marian, the confident Marian, the hopeful Marian. Now, I felt like a different person. I still went to work. I still talked politely. I still completed my responsibilities. But inside, I was struggling. There were moments when I smiled outside, but cried inside. People around me said, "You look strong." They did not know how many silent battles I was fighting every day. One evening, after a long day, I sat alone in my room. The silence felt loud. My thoughts became heavier and heavier. I started to think, maybe I am not strong enough. That thought scared me. For a moment, I wanted to give up trying to be strong. I wanted to stop pretending that I was okay. I wanted the pain to just disappear. Tears slowly fell down my face. I whispered to myself, I am so tired. And for the first time, I allowed myself to admit it fully. I was not just sad. I was hurt. Deeply hurt. That night was one of my lowest moments, but something small happened that changed my thinking. As I cried, I suddenly remembered all the days I survived, all the mornings I woke up even when I did not want to, all the times I kept going even when my heart felt broken. Then a quiet question appeared in my mind. If I am still here, does that mean I am already strong? I sat quietly and thought about it. Strength is not about never falling. Strength is about standing up again and again. I realized that even on my worst days, I did not give up completely. I still breathed. I still moved. I still tried. Even small effort is still effort. That realization gave me a small light in my darkness. From that day, I changed how I spoke to myself. Instead of saying, I am weak, I started saying, I am healing. Instead of saying, I cannot do this, I said, I will try one more time. Slowly, my inner voice became kinder. I also learned to rest without feeling guilty. Before, I thought resting meant failure, but I began to understand that rest is part of strength. Even the strongest hearts need time to recover. Some days, my only achievement was getting out of bed, and I learned to be proud of that. Some days, my only victory was choosing not to give up, and that was enough. Pain did not disappear, but my relationship with pain started to change. Before, I feared it. Now I observed it. Before, it controlled me. Now I faced it. I noticed that pain came in waves. Some days were very heavy. Some days were lighter. This taught me something important. Feelings are not permanent. Bad days do not last forever. During my hardest moments, I also began to appreciate small things. A warm drink, a quiet walk, a kind message from a friend, a peaceful sunset. These small moments became my silent support. I was not fully strong yet, but I was no longer the person who wanted to run away. Even on the days I almost gave up, I was still moving forward, slowly, quietly, bravely, and deep inside, my strength was growing, even when I could not see it. As time passed, something inside me slowly began to change. The pain was still there, but it no longer felt as heavy as before. It was like carrying a bag of stones. At first it felt impossible to walk, but day by day I became stronger, and the weight felt a little lighter. I did not notice the change immediately. It happened quietly. One morning I woke up and realized I was not afraid of the day anymore. I still had worries, but they did not control me like before. I could breathe more calmly. I could think more clearly. That was new for me. Before, my mind was always full of fear and sadness. But now, there were small moments of peace. I started to take care of myself in simple ways. I drank enough water. I ate on time. I went for short walks. I allowed myself to rest without feeling guilty. These small actions looked simple, but they were powerful. They were signs that I was healing. I also learned to forgive myself. For a long time, I blamed myself for feeling weak. I thought I should have been stronger. I thought I should have handled my pain better. But one day, I looked at myself in the mirror and said softly, "You did your best." Tears filled my eyes. Not tears of sadness this time, but tears of understanding. I realized I was too hard on myself. Pain is not a test that we must pass perfectly. Pain is a journey that we must walk patiently. From that day, I became kinder to my own heart. Whenever I felt overwhelmed, I no longer forced myself to be perfect. Instead, I allowed myself to be human. Some days I still cried. Some days I still felt tired. Some days I still missed the old me. But now I did not see these moments as weakness. I saw them as part of growth. I also began to notice how much I had survived. There were days when I thought I would completely break. There were nights when my heart felt too heavy to carry. Yet I was still here, still breathing, still trying, still living. That realization gave me a new kind of confidence. Not loud confidence, not proud confidence, but quiet confidence. The kind that says, "I have faced pain before, and I am still standing." I stopped comparing my healing with others. Some people healed quickly. Some people smiled easily. But I understood that every heart has a different story. My journey was mine alone, and that was okay. I also started to find meaning in my pain. Before, I only saw pain as something negative. But now, I saw what it had taught me. It taught me patience when I wanted quick answers. It taught me empathy when I saw others struggling. It taught me courage when I wanted to hide. Most importantly, it taught me that strength is not about being unbreakable. Strength is about rebuilding yourself, even after breaking. One evening, I went for a walk during sunset. The sky was warm and golden. The air felt calm. As I walked, I suddenly felt something I had not felt in a long time. Peace. It was gentle and quiet, not loud happiness, not excitement, just peaceful strength. In that moment, I understood something deep. Pain did not destroy me. It shaped me. It made me more aware. It made me more compassionate. It made me stronger from the inside. I was no longer the same person who was afraid of pain. Now, I was someone who had walked through it, and even though my journey was not perfect, I was proud of how far I had come. Because the truth was simple. The strength I was searching for outside had been growing inside me all along. Today, when I look back at my journey, I see a different version of myself. Not the person who was broken. Not the person who was lost, but the person who survived. There was a time when pain felt like the end of my story. I thought it would stay forever. I thought I would always feel heavy, tired, and afraid. But I was wrong. Pain did not stay the same, and neither did I. Now I understand that strength is not something we are born with. Strength is something we build, slowly, through our struggles, our tears, and our quiet battles. I used to think strong people never cry. Now I know the truth. Strong people cry, heal, and continue living. There were many days when I felt like giving up. Days when my heart felt too tired. Days when hope felt very far away. But even on those days, I still took small steps forward. And those small steps changed my life. I learned that healing is not fast. It is not straight. Some days we feel better. Some days we feel heavy again. But that does not mean we are going backwards. It simply means we are human. One of the biggest lessons pain taught me was patience. I learned to be patient with my emotions. I learned to be patient with my progress. I learned to be patient with myself. Before, I wanted quick healing. I wanted the pain to disappear immediately. But real healing takes time, care, and self-understanding. I also learned the power of kindness, especially kindness to myself. Instead of blaming myself, I encouraged myself. Instead of saying, "You are weak," I said, "You are trying." Instead of hiding my feelings, I accepted them. This simple change made my heart feel lighter. Pain also made me more understanding of others. Now, when I see someone smiling, I remember that they may be fighting silent battles too. I became more gentle, more patient, and more compassionate, because I know how heavy invisible pain can be. Another important lesson I learned is this: strength is quiet. It is waking up when life feels hard. It is choosing hope when fear is loud. It is continuing even when no one sees your struggle. Today, I still have difficult days. Life is not perfect. Sometimes memories return. Sometimes sadness visits. But now I am not afraid of these moments, because I know I can handle them. I have faced pain before. I have survived dark days before, and that means I am stronger than I once believed. I no longer see my past pain as an enemy. I see it as a teacher. Pain taught me resilience. Pain taught me courage. Pain taught me the true meaning of strength. If I could speak to my past self, the one who cried silently and felt alone, I would say, "You will be okay. Not immediately, not easily, but slowly, surely, you will heal." And most importantly, I would say, the pain you feel today will become the strength you carry tomorrow. Now, I walk through life with a softer heart, but a stronger spirit. I am not fearless, but I am brave. I am not perfect, but I am growing. My story did not end with pain. It grew because of it. And today, with quiet confidence, I can finally say, pain did not break me. Pain built me. And the strength I found through my pain is the strength I will carry forward for the rest of my life.